Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we're seeing the whole, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Wonderful. Okay, hello everyone. I am the co-founder and CEO of Your GPS Inc. We are a fleet telematics and safety solution provider for small businesses in North America. A little bit background about the company. We commercially launched last year in May 2022 and achieved $100,000 in revenue. And in 2023, we have grown 300% year to date. I have over 18 years of experience in the IoT industry in different roles, product development, sales and marketing, and operations. And I've spearheaded a startup in Dubai and achieved $10 million in revenue within the first 3 years of a launch. I have been awarded for product development while my work at TELUS as a telecom leader, and I love spending time with my daughter and my dog son, Leo. My co-founder is James Joseph. He is our CTO as well, and he has over 15 years experience developing telematics and IoT solutions. He had a GPS tracking solution company in India, and which was now closed before he moved here, and is a second-time founder and a true innovator. Your GPS is said to be the #1 GPS tracking solution for small businesses in North America. Only your GPS is designed to track all moving vehicles and assets, including trucks, cars, boats, machinery, and affordably and simply. The problem we are trying to solve is twofold. Small businesses have no visibility into their fleet, which results in delayed delivery, job abandonment, and idling, which then results in high fuel cost. Research shows that last year in North America alone, 6 billion gallons of fuel was wasted due to idling, resulting in $11 billion of losses, not to mention the carbon emissions. The existing solutions are very comprehensive but too complex, some needing an IT department to manage and not suitable for small business. The other hand, thefts are rising. Every 6 minutes, a car is stolen in Canada, every 40 seconds in US, and that impacts small business. Equipment theft alone resulted in $400 million of losses and $1 billion in vehicle theft. With our easy-to-use solution, which is affordable, which is reliable, and which integrates with a range of GPS trackers, small businesses are able to improve productivity, reduce cost, and improve operational efficiency. So let us look at this picture of the truck that's carrying the trailer. At one point, the truck is going to drop the trailer at the destination. And at that point, the trailer owner will have no visibility of where the trailer is. With our fleet of solutions, we can track the truck using the hardwired tracker and the trailer using a solar-powered GPS tracker in an easy-to-use way. Thus, with our solution, small businesses can have real-time fleet monitoring, advanced reporting, historical data, and multiple alerts to make sure that their trailers are safely and efficiently delivered to the destination. The market opportunity is huge and it's growing. Global GPS tracker market is $2 billion with a CAGR of 12%, expected to be $6 billion by 2030. The global fleet management market is at $52 billion right now, growing at 15%. And small businesses in Canada alone accounts for 97% of businesses between 1 to 100 employees. And if we consider North America and just certain industry like construction, manufacturing, transportation that have a fleet, the TAM itself is over $1 billion. In terms of our competitors, like I said before, there are competitors, and that I've classified in 4 categories. There are industry leaders, and then there are solution providers that have only one type of device. And then there are consumer products and then substitutes. So industry leader by and large would have GPS tracking, would have advanced feature, but they're not meant for small business. They're very complex to use. They're not easy. They're very expensive, $5,000 for a 7-year contract for a vehicle versus us being a $200 price per vehicle per year. So very big difference. They're meant for enterprises like City of Calgary, RCMP, very good fit for these solutions. Then we have the single OBD device. Now, they have GPS tracking in certain features meant for SMB, but they don't cater to all the use case. For example, an OBD can track a van, but it cannot track a trailer because trailer will have no power source. So it's limited in functionality and still on the higher side in terms of pricing. Consumer products, they're single devices. They're meant to track people. You can track luggage like Tracky and Bouncy. They're cheap, they're easy to use, but they're not discrete. They're not meant for business use and have limited features. And then there are substitutes like AirTags. That's a Bluetooth device. It's not a GPS tracker. They rely on iPhones. If there is no iPhone nearby, AirTags go blind. They have no reporting. They're not meant for businesses. They're great for keys or finding people or luggage. So one of our customer is a meat processing factory, and they say that we are a meat processing factory. Due to idling and delayed deliveries, our revenue was impacted as our delayed delivery resulted in product losing freshness and client dissatisfaction. With your GPS, productivity improved, idling reduced, and our client satisfaction increased with a positive impact on revenue. And then we have some other customers in energy, farming, plumbing, landscaping, towing, and what have you. In terms of our go-to-market strategy, first, our business model. There's a one-time fee of $75 average price for our device and an $18 per month subscription that a customer has to pay. We provide the holistic solution with SIM card, device, the software, and the support, and we target small business between 3 to 50 vehicles in North America. Typically, we would like to go through the direct sales. So we've started hiring salespeople with targeted outreach via emails and telesales and upselling to B2B customers. Initially, when we launched, we started online sales through campaigns and SEO, and we'll continue to do so, and adding on to the social media and press releases. In future, we also intend to go with industry partnerships with insurance companies, auto shops, and Walmart. Walmart is an invitation-only partner, and we have been invited by Walmart Canada. In terms of our funding ask, we are raising our seed round that ranges from $500,000 to $1 million with the funds, 70% of which will be used towards sales and marketing. We want to reach fast. Closure is not an issue. Our customers are sticky. We have no churn in our B2B customer base. It is capturing the market fast. Then we would like to use 20% of the funds toward product development, adding more functionality and features, which then also creates further barriers to entry. And then 10% of would be used towards operations. In terms of previous funding rounds, typically it was bootstrapped by both our founders, and then we raised 100,000 rounds with friends and family. And we would like to target 2026 for next round of Series A. In terms of financial overview, in the next 5 years, we expect to make $50 million, and we expect to focus more on small businesses. Our revenue, as I mentioned, to date is $300,000, which has grown 300% year over year. And out of the revenue, 75% of the revenue has now started to be from the software as a service and 25% from hardware. In terms of our gross margin, software accounts for 80% margin and hardware is 20%. Currently, we have a monthly recurring revenue at $18,000 a month. In terms of our key milestones, apart from the market validation in 2022 and the growth in 2023, we would like to continue acceleration and launch in US and introduce more features like AI-based video telematics with targeting a revenue of $2 million. And in 2025, we'd like to capture more market share with added features like dispatch management, ELD, and continue our global expansion and target revenue to reach $5 million. With that, I thank you and invite you to reshape the future of small businesses for their fleet tracking and fleet management needs. This map shows you our current density. It's an anonymized data of all our customers across North America at the moment. Thank you.
Thanks, Payal.
Thanks.
Well done. All right, Victoria, do you want to start us off this time?
Sure. So yeah, well, so congratulations first on the just pulling this off in such a short time. So the one thing is a little bit confusing to me on this that I think it's 12, page 12, right? So there's a consumer, so that's everything flows well, and then up to this point, and there's a consumer stuff. Is that consumer yeah,
Yes.
the pink one? And it looks like in 2023 you have that. So, but you never talk about what's the consumer business here. If
Right.
or I missed it, whatever. So that's one thing. Then the other one is that this is a sort of hardware and software as a service. Is that
That is
correct?
correct. Yes.
And then post revenue, if that the great showing the great potential here. So with that, you probably can look at some other examples of that, and the flow can be very sort of how do I say it? Easy to understand that. Okay, this is a product, this is a value. We've done it, and this is the cost of doing of this, supporting the margin, supporting the financial forecast. So I believe you have most of that, but you could then probably just reshuffle a little bit, make the problem part a little bit shorter, so then focus more on sort of the evidence to support your execution, to support your the future growth. Because the key thing here on these type of post revenue, SaaS, hardware as a service, is really numbers and really the credibility that you or execution. So that one, I think you got something here. You can emphasize on that better with the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we started a little bit with the consumer because we wanted market validation without investing too much. So we started selling online, but slowly we saw that the small adoption, small business just organically happened, and we started focusing on small business, which is our target.
Well, that's good. That's a story that you could then you could start with. But then you forecasted some consumer one. Yeah, I'm wondering how you sort of tie them together. But you want to focus more on the small business one, right?
The reason is some small businesses, they act like consumers. So they'd go and buy one device online and then evaluate it. And if they like it, then they reach out to us, say, hey, we have 20 vans. We've evaluated your device. Please send me a quotation. So we kind of keep the online active.
Well, if that's the case, you don't necessarily say this is a consumer play. It's just that the channel is sort of the D2C channel, but they still, the buyers are still businesses.
Yes, the reason I put it there is very hard to identify them until they reach out to us. It could be consumers, it could be business when they buy through Amazon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I see your point. Maybe in the go-to-market slide, I can probably in the business model also say that initially we start with consumers and then we like to target the small business.
Well, on Amazon there are small businesses.
Yes, absolutely.
You can still make the Amazon the listing targeting for this small business.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, I think that's some comments on top of my head. Overall, I think it's you got something here. Just need to tie it up a little bit of this line. Yeah.
Thank you for that feedback.
All right. Thanks, Victoria. All right, Sue.
Yeah, Payal, thanks so much for this very exciting business model. So I guess, so first of all, I really liked your introduction. Would you mind just sort of scrolling up from to the beginning, if that's okay? I liked your introduction. I think it was very clear when you got to slide 5. Yeah, I think when you got to slide 5, this is really where a lot of things sort of gelled together and made a lot, and the picture was suddenly clear. Okay, you have a lot of information on these slides, and you're talking very quickly. I would really recommend that you find a way to remove some of this information, and perhaps through Victoria's suggestion is maybe through storytelling, get this information through, because you're really not so much of a startup in terms of as much as you're really looking to scale.
Right.
So is that right? Yeah.
It is. And it's I'm so appreciative of the feedback, both your feedback. It is a struggle. This is my narrowed down slide version.
Yeah, I can totally
Jane
understand.
knows it. She's seen
Yeah.
all my busy slides.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand, and I know, I mean, I work with companies to do this, and so I know that sometimes you think a slide is critical and it's important, and then after you've done this so many times, you realize you can remove maybe 4 or 5 slides. So I would really encourage you to perhaps look at this with a scalpel.
Right.
All right. And maybe your pitch is great and it's very interesting. It's just there's a lot of redundancy, which means that you're repeating yourself multiple times. And I don't think you have the time to do that. And I think you're beyond what the problem is. You're beyond what the problem is and you're beyond what the solution is. It's very simple. The problem is it's not a difficult problem. Right. And it's not a difficult solution. And I don't think you need 5 or 6 slides for that. I really think if you start with this one, you can, very quickly sort of say, here's the story, this is what we've managed to do, and this is how we've done it. All right. So that's my first comment. My second comment, if you can go to slide 6. Sorry, just Jane, how much time do we have?
We're good. We've got another 15 minutes.
Okay. All right, so this slide here, which I guess you've put to give us an idea of what the app does, is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah, just to show how simple it is to use, and the real solution.
Okay.
From the software perspective.
Okay, so this to me looks very complicated. So I can just imagine where you came from to get here. So I mean, kudos to getting to this slide. I think, your problem and your solution are the least of your concerns right now when it comes to the investors, because you're looking to scale. And I think your focus should really be on your sales strategy, on how you're going to conquer Eastern Ontario, Western Ontario, because it's just a sales game for now. It's just numbers.
Yes.
And so all of this is pretty, but I think you can totally put it in the appendix. And if these questions come up, like give us a demo or something like that, then you're geared to go with it. And I can see Victoria's nodding as well. So
yeah.
As you're scaling, take
Yes.
us straight to the numbers, because that's what's getting us excited.
Yeah.
Take us to the numbers. And so let's go to the numbers. So you've got your benefit statement, which is great. We're easy, we're affordable. Keep your benefit statement. That's always going to be useful. And then when you get to the numbers, where do the numbers start?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what's the slide before? Sorry, I see a donut there. I just can't remember
That's
what
the ask.
So you're asking before you tell us how much money you're making? Okay. I mean,
yeah.
That's fine. That's just a personal choice. So in terms of numbers, here's what I want to see. I want to see how many customers you currently have. I want to see your average revenue. I want to see in terms of your growth, where these customers came from. Are they give me a breakdown? That's the opportunity here. You just told me almost all of Canada are small and medium businesses, right? So what's the number there? What is your march towards conquering these guys? Right. How do you plan to do it? And how many salespeople are you going to hire? If you break that down to me and I can say, wow, okay, it's not the sexiest business to be in, but it might be the easiest one to make a quick return. I always have my checkbook out for you. Okay? Right. So that's very, very important. Talk to me about the scale. Don't talk to me about all the stuff you did before. It is important. And that's why get your intro to about 2-3 minutes with that story and then focus. Okay.
Fair point. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. And then just my last comment, I can't remember where that's. Would you mind just showing me slide 13 again?
Sure.
Was it this one? Yeah. So your key milestones are completely unsexy. You've just told me about how you're going to conquer Canada.
Yeah.
And here you're talking to me about, I'm not sure.
So basically, I'm just saying how more features will be added and also saying, just reminding that what we'd seen in the slide before in terms of revenue target, this is the revenue that we're expanding to. So we're going to launch in US in 2024. We'll add AI-based video telematics, and our revenue will be two.
Okay. All right. So what does it mean when you tell me you're launching in US? Are you getting a business license? Are you getting a patent? I mean, I don't understand. When you say these things, you can make phone calls from Canada
Yes.
to the US. So when you
Yes.
say you're launching, you could have launched yesterday with a phone call. So this is very confusing. It almost contradicts everything that you've just said. I don't know if Victoria agrees with me or not, but maybe if
Shall
you're
we say expanding to US? Like I'm trying to say that we, because you have to put in marketing dollars and resources to make sure that you do justice and are able to reach the market in US. So that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that's also confusing too, because the picture showed that there are fleets in the US, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we've done a soft launch, but we've not, these are organic. Like we don't go and acquire them. They just are happening online. And we would like to make deliberate attempts to go and now capitalize on that opportunity.
All right. So this to me, this is a sales organization. This is organizing your sales approach. You know,
Right.
you need to decide what your channels are, regardless of where the business is coming from. So if you're acquiring leads through Amazon, that's a
Right.
sales approach.
Right.
All right. And that is not a revenue channel. And I think that's what Victoria was trying to tell you earlier. It's critical that you delineate between them from now, because then you're going to be focused. You're going to be scattered in too many different directions. If your customers are ultimately converging into one point and they're all B2B, then refocus your energies to measuring leads coming from Amazon, leads coming from SEO, leads coming from many other. And I think it'll just make your job so much easier. So I'm not too sure what you want, what you're trying to explain with this slide. Maybe you need to go back to the drawing board with that one.
Okay.
But I also think your last slide is powerful. You know,
Actually, this is the second time somebody's telling me. I met with a venture capitalist this morning and he said, can you start with this slide and maybe just for us, don't do it for the others.
Yeah,
maybe that's
it
what
is a very powerful slide. Don't say thank you. I definitely think you could bring this in a lot earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where, because I think you should shuffle it, but the earlier on in your presentation, probably the wower it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with this. It's just like so here your flow is different from several others because you are post revenue. Like the things you mentioned, organic growth. These are exactly things that you need to put up front. Basically,
Absolutely.
it's very simple about okay, what problem you are solving, what's a product you figure out, and you put it on the market, and now you see the traction from organic growth and this one, and then you will say, okay, now we need your money to then put in the fuel to scale it up. That's basically the storyline. And then obviously you would need to add several more details on the numbers, as also Sue mentioned, to support the ask. And basically we want to know that, okay, you've already see this is a proven market, and you also kind of proven where are if I use a metaphor, like you're going to fishing and you know there are a pool of fishes right there, and we know my fishing gear works, and now I just need to buy more of this. Basically, that's a story.
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you.
And what's the cost of this fishing gear, whatever, what's the margin, what's what are the channels, and even the use of fund, you probably would say that allocate this much in this channel, like this. So it's a pure sales play, pure growth play.
Yeah, it is. And so therefore, I'm just going to give you my last comment, and I'm going to put a black hat on for that one. From where I see, just from the information you provided us, as an investor, my biggest no to you would be, this doesn't look like a business model that has very high barriers to entry. So I almost feel, your neighbor could start this business, right? And so I understand one of your strategies is to do this quickly, easily, effectively. I understand that agility is part of your plan, But hey, yeah, I've started several businesses. Agility is almost is nice to have, but there are so many things that slow you down. You need to have another reason, another barrier there that's going to make it more difficult for your competition to get to where you are. Like you're already, you're already saying, listen, I mean, with that competition slide you showed us,
Yeah.
it's cluttered. This is a busy market.
Yes.
Right. And so why would I give you your money? And then tomorrow, if your competitor comes in asking me for money, why would I give it to him? So these are realistic things. And in the back of my mind, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw your competition slide is, I don't know if I should give you my money because I don't know. It doesn't look like you can do it fast enough. So you need to think about how you're going to convince me about making the barriers to what you offer, to your unique service offering, robust, high, and they can outlast the competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I want to also echo that. Yeah. So for you, actually, it's very important to show your ability to execute on this, and that's one of the sort of mitigation on this low entry barrier. It's really the execution play per se. It's not something like you have the IP here or whatever. But you can also show the data of the retention rate, churn rate, and stuff like that, and you can mention some like that to help with that. But Sue is absolutely right. There are investors who worry about, these are just will be saturated very soon once it's known, and then that concern is legit. And then that means it's very important for you to really show like slides like this and your credibility behind this, and demonstrate your just establish the trust that you will need, or basically support the risk of execution, basically.
Do you think it would be, maybe I cut down some of the other slides like we talked about, but do you think then I could probably put in a slide to differentiate? I had it at one point and with feedback we removed, but differentiate. So basically trying to differentiate on two sides. On one side, the new entrants, it's a very triangulating locations with GPS satellites, integrating with the hardware and bringing that software to life in a scalable where we are processing billions of transactions, not easy to do for a newcomer, and it's capital intensive.
Yeah.
So that's one. But the existing players are doing it, to your point, right? But the existing players, do they want to scale down? Like I worked in TELUS, a $22 billion company. And we were getting competed by Shaw in the Western end. And they were launching products so soon, so affordably. As TELUS, we couldn't do it. We're a big engine. Our internal departments themselves cost us millions. So we are not nimble as TELUS, but they were. And that's why we never come down market. We stay where we are. So that's what I was trying to say. But do you think we should probably have a dedicated slide on that?
Not necessary, but you can have your team slides, because you've two co-founders that have more relevant experience. You could emphasize on that relevance there to bring sort of you add up total, say 40 years of experience in terms of the GPS, blah blah blah, whatever. That's very helpful, because investors would know, this is not as any simple software products, like we will build stuff. We know that once you look into details, that you have to be an expert to really nail it right. And also like in the product roadmap, and definitely that's something that you have there right now. Say, I'm gonna develop this. That later on you will get the feedback from from customers. You know that this is not what we want. This is what we need to develop, right? So it's a agile and lean startup play purely on the software development, like a product development side. So you just need to, I think you just need to have some high level roadmap, but rather show that your understanding of the whole lean startup mindset and agile development mindset into this hardware software as a service process, because that's definitely applicable here, right?
Right. Understand. Thank you.
Okay, I think we'll hold it there.